At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Happy Tuesday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Weather NorCal. You're watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 7 a.m. And I'm tracking a parade of storms over the over the Pacific. Of course, otherwise, known as the Eastern Pacific. You can see the cold air in the Gulf of Alaska. And look at the left of your screen there. That's a storm system that will eventually impact us as well. This is why we call it a parade of storms, kind of one storm after another that will be impacting us. Here's what to expect through early next week. Now, starting tomorrow is really when that rain really begins to kick in. So through early next week, be prepared for a wet weather pattern. Heavy snow at times, which will lead to travel delays. Gusty winds, especially for tonight and into Wednesday, may even linger into Thursday, and even a chance for some thunderstorms for your Wednesday and Thursday as well, mainly for the coast and for the valley as well. So good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning. And things are going to get a lot more active as we take you into the next several days. We've been dealing with warmer than normal temperatures here throughout the weekend. We saw it yesterday. We'll see it again today. But today's the transition day. You're going to notice the clouds out there. There may even be a few showers that may develop later this afternoon, especially for northern Trinity County, maybe even the north end of the valley around Redding, and then into Siskiyou County, and maybe even parts of Modoc County as well. So a lot to unpack, a lot to talk about here in today's forecast, because a lot is happening and a lot is going to happen here as we take you over the next several days. All right, let's go ahead and get you to Krueger's Quickcast to start off here. For those of you in a hurry, here's what you can expect here for your Tuesday, March 11th. As you're heading out the door this morning, it's dry. There will be some clouds out there, but temperatures on the mild side for the valley and for the north coast. Now, for some of the higher elevations, still cold. Modoc County, upper 20s, low 30s for Siskiyou County, eastern mountains, pretty typical for this time of the year. But overall, not a terribly cold start to the day. Now, you can see the temperatures out there right now. We're in the 20s, 30s for the higher elevations. But in the valley, mainly in the 40s, although a little chilly this morning out at the Redding Airport at 39 degrees, upper 30s right now for the coast. So as we take a look at the big picture here, look over Southern California. They're getting some rain. That's the area of low pressure I've been talking about over the last few days. That area of low pressure is also responsible for the clouds that we did see yesterday. It's a lot of those thin cirrus clouds and even some mid-level clouds that moved through yesterday. But of course it was dry. Now, you can see here what's beginning to develop over the Eastern Pacific. Look at the Gulf of Alaska. Look off to our north and west. You can first of all see that line of clouds, that stream of moisture that's now heading from really the southwest, making its way into the Pacific Northwest. That's going to be shifting southward over the next 24 hours. That's going to be the source of moisture for our first round of rain coming in tomorrow. But behind it, we've got the speckled clouds. That's the colder air, and that's what's going to be moving in, giving us the lower snow levels too. Now, as the main cold front pushes through the first one, the winds are going to be picking up, very gusty winds. So we do have wind advisories here for the valley, for Humboldt County, central Siskiyou County. So when we look at the winds here for today, all right, they're picking up a bit here, generally from the south at about 20, 25 miles per hour for the valley, and not as bad, looks like, for the coast for this afternoon. Now, taking it to tonight, the winds begin to pick up see that line of strong winds off the coast? That's what's going to be moving in here late tonight and into tomorrow, and those gusty winds in particular by tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday for the valley. The coast, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, that's when I expect you'll see some of the strongest winds, as well as places like central Siskiyou County as well. So looking at futurecast today, clouds will be on the increase. Now you'll notice we're beginning to see a few showers developing in Trinity County, parts of the north end of the valley, say around Redding, the city of Shasta Lake, right? You might see a stray sprinkle or light shower late this afternoon, evening. Otherwise, it's dry. Right there you can see in Siskiyou County, maybe some activity kind of popping up as well. But looking at Mount Shasta Ski Park, of course, no new snow last 24 hours. The road conditions are in great shape. But I tell you what, this time tomorrow may be a little bit of a different story. Okay, let's take a look at the snow that we expect with the approaching storm system, at least through Thursday. Keep in mind, we've got a series of storms heading our way. So Thursday is just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more coming in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even into early next week. So you can see even just through Thursday, the Mount Shasta Ski Park, even at the base, is going to pick up more than 2 feet of snow. Now the areas of pink, winter storm warning. The area in blue along the coast, winter storm watch. The purple, winter weather advisory. Basically, the Weather Service is saying, heads up, there's a lot of snow heading our way. This is going to impact your mountain travel. It'll be here by tonight and tomorrow. But for today, right, another gorgeous spring-like day. Upper 60s for most of us in the valley. Probably some clouds developing later this afternoon. 50s for most of the higher elevations. Low 60s for Trinity County inland. And for the coast, looking at temperatures in the low to mid 50s. Now for tonight, upper 40s, the clouds are going to be in place. It's going to keep our temperatures from getting as cold as they are this morning. That's why we're not as cold for the higher elevations, but still cold enough that some of those higher elevations will see some of that snow once the precipitation moves on in. And you can see for the coast, those temperatures will be in the low to mid 40s. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day forecast for the valley. Each and every single day after today, you've got rain in the forecast and maybe some thunderstorms tomorrow and Thursday. Friday through Monday, off and on chances for more rain. Some days heavier than others. The coast, inland, also the chance for thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday. You'll also notice the drop in the temperatures too. Snow levels for Trinity County, on average, Wednesday through Monday, 2,000 to 2,500 feet. But look at Thursday, down to 1,500 feet. Yeah, we could be looking at just all snow at times, especially Thursday for Hayfork, Weaverville, for example. Siskiyou County, Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains. Off and on chances for snow for the next 7 days, really after today, right? Snow levels on average for Siskiyou County, 2,000 feet, give or take. Really more like 2,000 to 3,000 feet. For Modoc County and for Susanville and the Eastern Mountains, around 2,500 to 3,500 feet. And again, I think the lowest will most likely be on Thursday at this point. All right, let's take a look at some of the cameras around the region here. You can see Lake Oroville, and looks like, of course, still some of that water coming out of the spillway there. Taking a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay, and fairly calm winds. Beautiful look out the lake there. Maybe a good day to go for a morning kayak ride. Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Not a ton of traffic, but of course still looking at the dry conditions out there this morning. That may change by tomorrow around this time. That'll be kind of the beginning phases of that rain moving in. Highway 99 at Neal Road. Looks like we're in pretty good condition there as well. And taking a look at Highway 44, Sundial Bridge Drive. It looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there as well. Nothing to get too terribly concerned about if you're on your morning commute, at least at this point. And that's what it looks like here. Let's look at Krueger's Quickcast here. Now, before we get to the deeper dive, just going to check in, say hello, good morning to you. Hoping to have yourselves a great start to your work week. Of course, we have got quite an active week in store for us. I was talking to someone saying, okay, here we go, right? Because I can enjoy some nice calm weather, and then I'm going to be a lot busier by the time we get to tomorrow and the rest of the week, this weekend. Even though, of course, Chase Wilson will be here to give you your forecast over the weekend, I'm, of course, going to be keeping a close eye on things as well because it's going to be active this weekend, too, and going into early next week. Checking in with some of you this morning, some of our regulars this morning. We got Ruth Sanchez saying good morning, Mike, and good morning to you. And we've got Kimberly Mackley saying it's a great day today. And indeed it is. It's going to be a great day. You got to make it a great day. You got to be as positive as you can about it. All right, well, what do you say we get to our deeper dive forecast? And we're going to be looking at, of course, our sponsor, Wind River Resort and Casino. Made possible by. Without our sponsor, this course would not be possible. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Once again, want to thank Wind River for their support. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions out there right now. And yeah, a little chilly out at the Reading Airport at about 39 degrees. We're sitting at about 44 degrees for Red Bluff, 41 for Corning and Willows, 31 degrees right now in Susanville. 22 degrees for Alturas, and those upper 30s right now along the coast. So again, here's what I'm tracking. Here's what to expect. Basically for tomorrow through Monday, wet weather pattern. Be prepared for wet weather. Of course, some days heavier than others, but pretty much every day from tomorrow through Monday, there's a chance for rain. Now, I do also expect snow in the higher elevations each and every single day, mainly as you go above, say, above 3,500, 4,000 feet, mainly around 4,000 feet higher, everyday snow, and then it'll be kind of vary, mix once you start getting below that, but at times all snow too. And that's going to impact your mountain travel. So bottom line, if you're traveling in the mountains starting tomorrow through Monday, you're going to need to keep a close eye on those road conditions because they are going to be changing daily, hourly, as these storm systems push through. Also some gusty winds. We'll notice the winds picking up a little bit this afternoon, but especially tonight and tomorrow. Also the chance for thunderstorms here, especially for the coast and the valley for tomorrow, going into your Thursday as well. All right, so here it is. Area of low pressure. That's bringing rain for Southern California. Definitely a welcome sight for them. Didn't do much for us except just bring us some of the clouds that we did see yesterday. This right here, look at that. This is coming in from the subtropics. A nice, warm, moist air that's heading our way. This right here is the moisture source. The moisture that's going to be in the atmosphere for these storm systems over the Gulf of Alaska to squeeze out that moisture, bring us rain, bring us that snow. This is also where that cold front is, and that's going to bring us, of course, those gusty winds. Now, we take a kind of head off to the west here. You can see the parade of storms I was talking about. You see a spin here, you see a spin here, there's a bit of a spin right here. You've got this storm system. Now, these storms are going to take bigger shape. They're going to morph into different types of storms here as they progress through time. But bottom line, this energy that's over the Pacific Ocean is all heading our way. And we'll see one storm after another push through. That's why we will see some breaks in there. So we talk about atmospheric rivers, right, in Pineapple Express, the works. We're not going to be looking at any one atmospheric river event per se that we're necessarily concerned about. Really, the main thing is this source of moisture here for Wednesday. You see how it's that moisture is pointed at Northern California? There it is. It's depositing moisture over our area. That's going to allow the storms that are moving closer to us to squeeze out the moisture that's there. Now what will happen is as that main stream pushes down to the south, you'll notice we still have the areas of blue right here in the valley. You see that? That's drier air, but still some leftover moisture for Thursday. And that's going to bring us more showers and possible thunderstorms. But look off to our west right here. Here's another stream of moisture. That will kind of push mainly to our south, but it will certainly bring us some moisture that will be available for your Friday. Then, if we see a break at all, it will be on Saturday. But then by Saturday into Sunday, this stream of moisture heading towards the Pacific Northwest in Northern California will be another source of moisture for the storm systems to work with before that pushes to the south by Sunday, but still some leftover moisture Sunday, even Monday, before we dry things out by next Tuesday. So what am I trying to kind of tell you with all this? What was the point of all of that? Well, the point of this is that in order for us to see any decent amounts of rainfall or snow for that matter, you need a source of moisture. A lot of times when you get these colder storm systems, the colder storm systems that come from the north, even the Gulf of Alaska and of course Canada, they typically tend to be drier storm systems. So a lot of times we don't see a lot of rain or snow out of them. However, if you can get a source of moisture coming in from the southwest, subtropics for example, that can bring us a better chance for some rain and of course heavier snowfall amounts as well. And that's essentially what we've got. We've got several of these pushes of moisture coming in from the southwest, a warmer source of moisture to work with the colder air to give us those lower snow levels and of course to give us that rain as well. All right, so let's walk you through the timing over the next couple of days. Here we are. By midday, we're still dry. You see the clouds through the afternoon are starting to pick up. Now, we are still seeing the potential for maybe a light shower or a sprinkle for the north end of the valley. Anderson, Redding, City of Shasta Lake, Palisadro, Old Shasta, you might see a little bit of shower activity. Maybe some heavier rainfall for northern Trinity County. Let's take you into later tonight around midnight. Now it's beginning to fill in a little bit more, maybe some sprinkles, but keep in mind it's been very dry, so a lot of this probably won't even reach the ground, but it is a little bit heavier to the north. In the meantime, we're looking at another band of moisture right here, but the main band isn't going to push through until about 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Here you can see it's right here. This is the main cold front. So with this cold front, not only are you seeing heavy rainfall, potential for thunderstorms, but you're also seeing gusty winds. So the winds are starting to pick up at this point here, even for parts of the valley. But even the valley, even at about 6 a.m., still seeing the showers, and we've got snow. Now, I've got snow levels here at 3,500, 4,500 feet. But at this point in the game, we're going to be closer to 4,500 feet with those snow levels. Still fairly high. Be prepared for chain requirements east of I-5 tomorrow morning. I think I-5 near Mount Shasta will most likely be in the form of rain, maybe a mix. I think on Highway 299 West, form of rain, 6 a.m. Wednesday. Highway 36 West, maybe some snow in there, maybe some chain requirements. So you need to start thinking about chain requirements and how that's going to impact your mountain travel starting tomorrow morning. By midday, I included the winds in here, and here's the reason why. We're going to talk about this line right here. So you see how the upper level winds are for the most part kind of pushing that rain to the north and east. But strong south winds develops what we call a convergence line. It's actually a well-known phenomenon that's here for Northern California. And in particular, the north end of the valley tends to be impacted by the most. So typically you get these strong north winds that butt up against the mountains. It forces that air up, and we see it really squeeze out that moisture. And a lot of times you see these thin, narrow bands of heavy rainfall that can sometimes, depending on how long this trend lasts, can sometimes bring us a heavy amount of rain. Okay, and sometimes even some localized flooding. So this is something we'll have to watch here as we go into midday into the afternoon tomorrow. Meanwhile, we're seeing snow in the mountains, still about 3,500, 4,500 feet. They're beginning to lower. I think that we may begin to see a mix, maybe even all snow on I-5 near Mount Shasta City. If you look at Highway 299 West, we're getting borderline, probably a mix out at Buckhorn Summit in Oregon Mountain, but maybe some snow on Highway 36 West, and of course, plenty of snow off into the eastern mountains. But also remember, we're seeing some thunderstorms here in the valley, and we're also seeing thunderstorms along the coast, some heavy rainfall in the foothills and heavy snow in the mountains east of the valley. Now again, as we go into 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we see a couple of convergence lines developing here. One here to the north and east of Redding, another one from Red Bluff to the north and east. Those strong south winds producing that heavy rainfall could be for a moderate amount of time, which again, we'll have to watch for the potential for some flash flooding from noon to about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on how long these convergence lines stick around in one location. If they move out fairly quickly, then it's a brief period of heavy rainfall. But sometimes, and it's not until it actually is happening, quite honestly, sometimes they can stick around for a few hours, and that's when we start seeing that potential for flash flooding. Meanwhile, again, still that heavy snow to the east. I think at this point, we're looking at the potential for some rain-snow mix, maybe even around snow for Mount Shasta City. Now we start seeing that potential, especially as we start going into the evening hours. Here's Wednesday, 6 p.m. We're beginning to see better potential for snow around Highway 299 West, Highway 36 West, I-5, heavier snow still off to the east. This is where the main band of moisture is now. That cold front pushing off to the east. We're seeing showers turn over to scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms for the valley and the coast, and some snow flurries in the higher elevations. But still, the heavier band of rain and snow off to the east of us. Now, by the time we get into tomorrow night at 10 p.m., the snow is beginning to kind of taper off a bit, but still snow in the eastern mountains. We're seeing snow in Trinity County, western Siskiyou County. We're down to about 3,000 to 4,000 feet by 10 p.m., but it may start getting lower than that by the time we do get into a late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, maybe more thunderstorms even Wednesday night for the coast. Now, we take you into tomorrow. There's Thursday at 5 a.m. We see a little push of moisture early in the morning on Wednesday for the valley. Otherwise, you can see the snow that we do have in the higher elevations. Now, notice I've got snow levels between 2,000 and 3,000 feet, but again, places like Hayfork, Weaverville, through the day on Thursday could see the potential for all snow at times. That could mean the potential for accumulating snow for you and potential for more showers and possible thunderstorms for the coast. Now, by midday on Thursday, we're still not seeing a lot of activity for the valley. Maybe some passing showers through the morning, but nothing significant. So we may see a bit of a break Thursday morning through midday for the valley. Snow flurries in the higher elevations. Now again, this is not widespread. You're going to see off and on snow showers for the higher elevations, and that's when things can get really tricky when we're talking road conditions, because you see a heavy downpour of snow, then it stops, then it comes back again. So you're definitely going to need to keep a close eye through the day on Thursday, those road conditions for everywhere in the mountains. 299 west, 36 west, I-5 north, also to the east of I-5 as well. Possible showers and thunderstorms midday for the coast. Again, not much activity for the valley just yet. But by Thursday afternoon, we may see some convection, daytime heating, that cooler air aloft that clashes with that warmer air moving up, and moist air too. And we see showers and possible thunderstorms developing here for Thursday afternoon for the valley. Once again, more snow in the mountains, creating travel delays, and still some activity here for the coast. Then, of course, that continues into Thursday, 5 p.m., and we've got more coming in behind that for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Rainfall amounts, at least through Thursday afternoon, is going to be anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in the valley. Again, this is just through Thursday. This is not including what we'll see Friday, Saturday into early next week. We could see over 1 inch for parts of the north coast, inland areas, and typically we see a lot less, at least in the form of rainfall or water equivalency for the eastern mountains. Now, these are looking at the snowfall totals just through Thursday. Again, keep in mind, we're not looking at what we're going to see on top of that for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now here I would say that we're going to be somewhere in that 4 to 8 inch range, and it might even be closer to that higher range here for Mount Shasta City at 4 to 8 inches. Bernie, I think you could see some light accumulating snow, as well as Weaverville and Hayfork out towards Shingletown, 3,500 feet. You're going to most likely see some of that accumulating snow, and maybe some heavier snow down to the south and to the east here. Now, places like Hoopa, Etna, not out of the question here, especially as we do go into Thursday when we see some of the lower snow levels. And Wairika, Alturas, maybe about 1 to 2 inches of snow. So yeah, certainly some decent snow heading our way. That, of course, is going to create problems when we're talking road conditions. Now, this forecast model only goes out to about Wednesday morning at about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But here you can start to see by early tomorrow morning, we're beginning to see snow in the higher elevations east of I-5, north on I-5. See that again? We're not really seeing snow just yet on I-5 near Mount Shasta or even Highway 89, but that will probably change as we go through the morning on Wednesday and into Wednesday afternoon as well. Here's the longer range taking you into your Friday. We are looking at more rain, more snow in the forecast for your Friday. We take you into Saturday. This model in particular wants to give us a little bit of a break on Saturday, maybe showing a bit more of a break than we'll see, but still a chance for showers at least on Saturday. Then by Sunday afternoon, we're looking at another cold front that'll push through. Gusty winds, potential for more showers, and maybe even some thunderstorms here with the snow in the higher elevations. And then one last push coming in on Monday. There's the trough of low pressure, the instability, the showers that we're seeing here. And then behind that, this ridge of high pressure right here, this will shift eastward over us by next Tuesday, Wednesday. That's when we're going to see a break from the wet weather. And I think it's going to be a well-deserved break. Now remember when I was showing you the moisture that's coming in, we don't have a constant stream of moisture that's going to be pointed at Northern California, but these storm systems will have at least a moisture source. That being said, this is not going to be a major rainfall outbreak. I do expect to see upwards of 2 to maybe even 3 inches of rain once all is said and done through Monday. Really, when you look at that span of 7 days, 2 to 3 inches of rain, for all intents and purposes, is really not a ton of rainfall. Now, we will see more for the coast, but even for the coast standards, that's not a ton of rainfall either. So I don't anticipate much in the way of flooding, if any. I think any flooding concerns would be, at least the impacts, would be maybe some mudslides and debris flows. You know, there are a lot of sensitive areas. It doesn't take a lot for us to see, though, the potential for those mudslides and debris flows, especially in the burn-scarred areas. So that's something to take into account. Otherwise, I don't expect this to be a major problem when we're just talking about water overall. but we are in the wetter than normal category when we do look at that long range, especially going in this week and into early next week. Taking a look at those lake levels, we're still looking very healthy with the lakes over 80% or higher, that is, for most of the lakes in the area. Shasta Lake, Trinity Lake, and Lake Oroville, all about 80% or higher, and the historical average still over 100%. Hey, by the way, we're talking about all this rain. The fire season, it is really going to start, it's going to creep up on us here very quickly here. Before you know it, we will be in that fire season. And where we are seeing high fire danger right now, believe it or not, across the nation, you can see out towards southern New Mexico and into Texas, we are seeing either red flag warnings or fire weather watches. They've got gusty winds, very dry conditions. This is just a friendly reminder that, again, we've got to start thinking about doing what we can now to protect ourselves from the fire season coming in, making sure that you've got that defensible space, especially if you do have a lot of property. So start thinking about that now before it's too late and you have all of this brush that you need to take care of. But again, just kind of that friendly reminder here as we look at some of those fire weather watches and warnings out towards the south central United States. All right, the winds, let's talk about that. Here you can see there's a wind advisory for the valley, also a wind advisory for Humboldt County and central Siskiyou County. Now this is mainly for tomorrow, but the winds will start to pick up here later this afternoon. You can see they're picking up from the south. We'll call it breezy, more of a nuisance wind than anything else. You can see also some gusty winds here for the coast, and really for everyone, we're starting to see those winds pick up. It's tonight that the main cold front, as it approaches, we're talking 30, 40 miles per hour for the coast, and already seeing close to 30 miles per hour for parts of the valley. By midday Wednesday, that's when I think the winds will be strongest. We could see 30, 40 mile an hour gusts here for parts of the valley, eastern mountains. But by midday already, you're seeing signs of west of Siskiyou County, west of the valley. We're seeing signs of those winds dying down, and eventually most of us will see at least calmer winds, still breezy Wednesday afternoon, and then we take you through the day on Thursday. There's Thursday morning, fairly calm winds. They may pick up a little bit in the eastern mountains, but you get the idea. The winds will be certainly calmer through the day on Thursday. In the meantime, colder air, low snow levels, right? That's because that colder air is going to be in place. That's the temperature outlook over the next 10 days. Now look at this for Redding, just to give you an idea. One more spring-like day, then we're dropping, we're close to 20 degrees below normal by Friday, but generally 10 to 15 degrees below normal here through next week, even as we go into the week after that. Through this week, Even as we go into the weekend and the week after into next week, we're still seeing temperatures most likely below normal, even though it is warming up a bit here come Tuesday and Wednesday. So you get the idea, this spring-like weather we've been experiencing, we're back to winter temperatures below normal. But there you can see the wave heights today, they're fairly low, so no issues here when we're talking about the marine forecast. However, by tomorrow, we've got those higher wave heights. That's going to create some issues. In fact, the National Weather Service has issued a gale warning that will take effect for tonight into tomorrow morning. But today, not that bad. Coming in from the east at about 5 to 10 knots. They will be shifting more from the south, though, later this afternoon. There's your waves, there's your high and your low tide, and your sunrise and your sunset for today. Speaking of today, here's a look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. So bottom line, when we look at the 7-day forecast for everyone, it's going to be wet starting tomorrow through Monday, off and on chances for rain or snow, depending on your elevation. But for today, beautiful weather in Trinity County, temperatures mainly in the low 60s. We take you to the south, 54 degrees for Forest Glen, 56 in Ruth, 54 degrees in Wildwood and Mad River, about 52 degrees. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, dry today, showers and thunderstorms here for tomorrow, Thursday, off and on continued chances for rain through next Monday. 56 degrees in Ferndale today, 57 in Rio Dell and Hydesville, about 58 degrees. Up to the north, 54 degrees for McKinleyville, 57 in Blue Lake, 61 for Hoopa, and 54 degrees in Trinidad. Even further to the north, 54 degrees for Smith River, 51 for Crescent City and Klamath, and 53 degrees in Orick. Siskiyou County, you got temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s along the Highway 96 corridor, along I-5 there. You are looking at temperatures around 60. And for Scott Valley, mid to upper 50s for those daytime highs. Is that mine? Oh, no, that's someone else. Okay, that's an alarm that's going off. Someone's alarm's going off. Interesting. Never mind that. Hopefully my wife can get to it here in a second. There, she got to it. All right, there you can see temperatures for Scott Valley, mid to upper 50s here. All right, so let's take a look at Siskiyou County. Home office. That's what you got to love about it. Temperatures in the mid-50s here out towards I-5. There you can see low to mid-50s here to the north and east. There is a look at your 7-day forecast for Mount Shasta. Yeah, off and on chances for snow pretty much all week long and even into early next week. Modoc County temperatures in the low to mid-50s. 55 for Newell, 55 degrees for Alturas, and 55 degrees in Aden. And for the eastern mountains, we've got those temperatures low to mid-50s. Viola about 49. 58 degrees for Paynes Creek, and 56 degrees in Bieber. For Lake Almanor and Lassen Park, well, around the lake, you're looking at temperatures mainly in the mid-50s for those daytime highs, and in the 40s for Lassen Park. Eastern mountains to the south, Paradise, you can see some thunderstorms tomorrow and Thursday. Susanville, you've got snow levels around 4,000 feet Wednesday, dropping down to 2,500 to 3,500 feet for Thursday through Monday of next week. Let's take you to the valley to the south, brought to you by Walgamith Painting with your neighborhood forecast here. Temperatures getting close to, if not even around 70 for some of the warmer locations. We could see some thunderstorms tomorrow with that heavy rainfall at times for Chico, maybe some scattered thunderstorms by tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, really not very wet for the first half of the day on Thursday. Then more off and on rain for Friday through the weekend, even into early next week. Let's take you up to the north. 62 degrees for Whiskeytown, 62 for Lakehead, 65 in the city of Shasta Lake, and 67 degrees for Cottonwood. And there's a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. Bumping my arm on that small studio board that's sticking out. All right, anyway, there you can see 54 degrees on Wednesday. Look at that. We're down to 47 degrees by Friday. Before we're back up in the mid to upper 50s over the weekend and into Monday of next week. That's a look at your forecast, folks, and it looks like we're going to kind of wrap things up here this morning. We've got a beautiful shot. Let's get you to it right now. Look at that. Looking pretty darn good. Lake Oroville, you got a beautiful sunrise picture there. And looks like a good day to maybe go for a kayak ride out there. Looks like a little bit of a wind, kind of creating some very small waves on the lake over there. But taking a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay, much calmer winds, beautiful sunrise there. We're going to leave you with a couple more camera shots here to wrap up the show. But in the meantime, have yourselves a great Tuesday. We'll see you right here tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger starting at 7 a.m. Have a good one, folks.